Hi, welcome to session 2 of the Traka webinar series. My name is Thomas Bedrisky, and in this session, we'll be giving a basic demonstration of our Traka Touch key management systems. So here I have my M series, which can hold between 10 and 20 sets of keys. Now you may be wondering, well, what if I have more keys than that? What do I do? Well, we also have our S series, which is capable of handling between 10 and 60 sets of keys. And finally, our L series, which can manage between 10 and 180 sets of keys. Now, each of these systems is modular in increments of 10. So for example, if you have 90 sets of keys to be managed, we can do our L series, populate it with 9 receptor strips, and then blank off the rest of the cabinet, which can be expanded in the future as your needs grow. The first and most important thing about the key management system is how in the world do I identify myself to it? What allows me to access keys? Well, you can see here on this system, I have an HID multi-class reader, so I can access it with a existing employee ID badge that you may have. If that's not available to us, then we can certainly use user identification codes or even fingerprint reader as well. So in this case, I have a HID I-class card here. So I'm going to go ahead and present my badge to the reader on the front of the key management system. Now we can see that we have two options on the screen here. And first and foremost, it knows exactly who I am, that it's Thomas Bedrisky. So the first of our two options is I know what I want. If I go ahead and select that button there on the screen, that means I know where the key set that I need resides within the cabinet. We can see it on the touch screen. It represents the different access that I have, with green meaning yes, you have access to it, while red means no. If I were to try to take one of these red positions, it's going to tell me that I'm not authorized to remove that key set. Although, when I go to say, take position 10 here, it's going to go ahead and tell me that I have a curfew that I need to accept against that key set, which is in this case, this GMC Yukon. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, you know what, I'll make sure that I have that key back on time. Goes ahead and unlocks by blinking the tricolor LED over the position, which you'll notice each position has an LED over it. In this case, 8 is green, which indicates, yes, I do have access to it. 9, however, is red, meaning I do not have access to position 9. And finally, 10 has now turned amber because of the fact that I'm now holding that key in my possession, and which is also indicated on the touch screen, which shows Thomas Bedrisky held 10 and 15. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the door. Now, as we saw, the cabinet prompted me with a curfew, which is one of the very useful features that's offered by our key management systems. Curfews come in two different flavors: relative and absolute, with absolute being an absolute time of day down to the exact minute, and relative being extremely flexible. So it's relative to when the key has been taken, down to the exact minute in days, hours, and minutes. Now those curfews, if I don't have the key back on time, can generate an email notification, which can be intelligently sent to my supervisor or the leader of the department that manages these keys, or can be alerted via the software as well. Now we'll notice the key that I have out in my possession here has our iFob, or silver bullet, attached to it, the heart of our product. That iFob is security sealed with a uniquely serialized and Traka branded aircraft grade braided steel security seal, and lives with this iFob forever. Now the iFob itself is IP67 rated as waterproof and dustproof. You can drop it off a cliff, you can throw it in a puddle of water, back up over it with your truck, and it's still going to be just fine. It's a solid mold of metal and nickel-plated brass tube with a guaranteed unique 48-bit serial number, making every iFob in the world unique. And that iFob is what allows the cabinet to recognize the key set coming and going. So they never come apart from each other, and you know that if the iFob is no longer present inside of the key cabinet, well, that key is along with the iFob, as it should be. So you'll notice here that we actually have a clear see-through door on the cabinet. You may be wondering, is that glass? It's absolutely not. That is actually polycarbonate, the same thing that they make police riot shields out of. So it's shatterproof and extremely robust. One of the nice things about it is it does allow us to see and do a visual audit of what is in and what is out of the cabinet. Now in this case, we know that I'm currently holding position 10. We can see that it's not there. Although if this was someone else and they wanted to know real quickly from the key cabinet itself, who has 10? We can simply hit search on the touch screen here. And then using the QWERTY keyboard, we can type in pretty much any information we want. But in this case, I'm just going to type 10 and hit enter there. We'll see it brings up all the search results for anything that involves the number 10. In this case, it gave us that GMC Yukon Denali that I have, and also building 10. But so we can see who the current user is, the previous user, when it was last taken, and when it was last returned, and when it is due back. So all easy to gather information directly at the key cabinet itself. Mind you, even more historical data, literally everything that's ever occurred at the key cabinet, is stored within Traka Web and can be reported on at any given time, all the way back to the first day the cabinet went live. Now, just for reference, should you not want a see-through door, or maybe for security purposes, or out of sight, out of mind, we can certainly put a solid steel door on there as well. Now let's go ahead and return this key set. We're all done with it. So I'm going to go ahead and go back and present my badge back to the reader. Again, the key cabinet does know who I am. I'm going to go ahead and hit, I know what I want. The door's going to fire open, and it knows I'm holding 10 and 15. Now, what if I accidentally put this key back in position 13 instead? It's actually lighting up a path of LEDs and telling me on the screen, item is in the wrong position. Please move the item in position 13 to 10. So I'll pull that out of there and return it back where it goes. Now finally, let's have a look at how the other means of key access operates. Present my credential again. This time we'll select I need to search. So this is a very useful tool in cases where you don't know where the key set you need is. Maybe you don't use it very often, so you can't quite remember. Or maybe as opposed to this 20-position system, you have 150 keys behind this door. And very difficult to know exactly where that key is. I can either search for it on the QWERTY keyboard, or even just hit Show All. Now the screen is going to show me every key that's available to me. So maybe I want to go ahead and again pull out that position 10. Now I've selected it. All I have to do is hit Release. It's going to tell me my curfew. I accept it. Door fires open, and it goes ahead and asks me with a tricolor LED blinking to please remove position 10. Now when I'm all done with that key for the day, I go ahead and come back to the key cabinet, present my credential. In this case, I'll just hit I know what I want. Return it back to where it belongs. That key is no longer my responsibility. It's back at the hands of the corporation I work for, and my job is done for the day. I'd like to thank you for watching. Should you like to go into further detail or have questions, you can give us a call at 877-34-TRAKA or simply email us via info@trakausa.com. Enjoy the rest of your day.